Hello. Hello.
ठीक छ सुरु गरौँ ल
Hello,
साउन्ड आएको
I am extremely sorry for late. I couldn't see international friend who is from Pakistan and America, okay, Mexico. Hello, Om Devi ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Sharmila Boini, I am here.
Are you hearing me? Hello, Badri
Yes.
sir, are you hearing me?
Hi, namaste. I'm hearing you. Thank you.
Hello, Ashan, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sharmila. It's nice to see you.
Hello, Angelica, are you hearing me?
Yes, good morning here in Mexico.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, all of you. And I'm trying to start now. Sorry for late. Hello, namaste, and good evening. I'm Sarmila Thakuri from Nepal. I am treasurer of Cooperative Journalist Association of Nepal, which is called CJN in short. I want to call Mr. Khilanath Dal for chair in this Zoom meeting. Hello, Khilanath sir.
Hello.
Please
Hello,
chair
namaste.
our Zoom meeting.
Yes.
With due permission of the chairperson and eminent panelist, we are going to start Zoom meeting with veteran leaders of cooperatives in the global arena.
Hello.
Today we are gathered to share. Today we are gathered to here to share our views on the current situation and role of youth in cooperative movements. Let me introduce our popular, smart, and well wisher of the youth, and our chief guest, Ms. Om Devi Malla, who have more than 20 years of experience in cooperative sector of Nepal. She is global board member of ICA, and she is also vice chairperson in Nepal Cooperative Federation, NCF. Welcome to our meeting, madam. Hello, Om Devi ma'am. Hello.
Thank you, Sharmila.
Likewise, we have with us smart and intelligent ladies who have in Sweet City, Mexico, Miss Angelica Sovereigns. Hello, Angelica. Welcome to our Zoom meeting.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
She is president of the America Regional Committee of ICA Youth Network. Currently, she is working as a communication coordinator of production cooperative called Cruz Azul, located in Mexico. More to say, she is journalist too. She is in charge editor of the international institutional magazine. Welcome to our Zoom meeting, and again I want to welcome to our Zoom meeting, Angelica.
Thank you so much.
We have another panelist, and I want to say speaker, Mr. Rasan Ali Thakur. He is living in Pakistan. He is the chairperson of ICA AP Youth Committee, and he is working in Karachi Cooperative Housing Societies Union. I would like to welcome to him in this Zoom meeting. Hello, welcome to our Zoom meeting, Mr. Rasan.
Thank you for having me, Sharmila. It's nice to be here.
And we have another dynamic speaker who has played vital role in youth cooperative movement in Nepal, Mr. Badri Kumar Goragai. He is now CEO of National Cooperative Bank, which is called in short NCBL, which has the largest network of the cooperative in Nepal. Welcome to our Zoom meeting, Mr. Badri sir.
Namaste. Thank you very much.
With taking the program ahead, I would like to recall Mr. Ariel Guarco's remarks. Youth is present, not future. So we have to give chance to youth. I want to say this sentence. Conventionally, youths are entrusted little while being provided with a bigger responsibility, but that is not the situation now. Mindset has been changing, so a lot more needed to be done. First of all, I want to invite to Mr. Khilana Dahal for his welcome speech. Hello, Mr. Khilana Dahal.
Hello,
Give
namaste
your
everyone.
speech to this Zoom meeting.
Thank you, Sarmila ji. Hello, I am Kilana Dal.
Oh no, Khila Daine Anam.
म्यूट गरी गरी म्यूट गरी गरी
खिलना सर का आवाज आए ना
Hello.
Hello.
Khila
Hello.
sir,
Hello.
I
Hello.
want
Namaste.
to
Sound
again
आया?
to
Hello.
tell you, please give your welcome speech.
Okay, namaste, all of you, and thank you, Sarmila ji. I am Kilana Dal, chairperson of CDN, means Cooperative Journalist Society of Nepal. I want to welcome to all of you in Zoom meeting. We are happy to organize this discussion about this great issue with all cooperative leaders. We are also part of cooperative sector, so we are collaborating with cooperative sector for lobbying and advocating to the policy making level. The meeting will be successful and fruitful. Have a good meeting. And Sarmila ji, continue.
Okay, thank you, Khila sir. Thank you so much for your welcoming speech. I wanna invite to Miss Angelica, who is a participant from Mexico. So please, Angelica, I want to ask to you, how much do the youth in America are attracted to conduct their business via cooperatives? I mean, Mexico. You are the vice president ICA Youth Network, and you are the president of the Americas region. So I want to ask to you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you to the Cooperative Journalists Association of Nepal and ARSA today. And yes, I have at this time of my life a lot of responsibilities regarding youth. And I hear a little bit of noise. Sorry. Someone speaking.
त्यो सबैकोलाई म्युट दिनु न बहिनी त्यो एकदमै डिस्टर्ब आयो बोल्ने बेलामा मात्रै खोल्दिनु
Okay.
सबैजनालाई अनुरोध बहिनी म्युट गर्नलाई
That's a shame. I can't understand what he's saying. So
okay, I'm trying to mute you also.
That's
Angelica,
okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, as you say, I work with Esan as vice president of the Global Youth Network of the ICA, and also I'm the president of the the America's Youth Committee, but also I have a committee here in Mexico of the main confederation we have here. So I have like a lot of work with youth in several levels. My cooperative, it's a production cooperative for the construction business. For the we made cement for the construction, so it's a very large cooperative. And
उता कतै अनम्युट गर्नुस् न
Angelica, you need to repeat yourself. Yeah, you are muted right now.
okay. Yes, what I was saying is that in America we like to talk about generational inclusion. Not only youth, but also we really appreciate the help of the experienced people. So in most of the projects we have, we have youth, but we also have more experienced people as mentors or as consultants. So this way of working has been very, very popular and very successful for us.
In your country and in your area, I mean to say America sector.
Sorry, can you repeat, because you were turned off like your mic? Yeah.
What is the situation, youth and cooperative sector in your region?
Okay, it is not like a very great scenario. I'm not sure if in your country the young people have more participation, but here in Mexico, like the main cooperatives, or even in America, the bigger, the most important cooperatives are like very old ones. For example, mine exists since 1881, so it's a very old cooperative. And as you can imagine, like all the decisions and all the high level positions are taken by very, very grown up people. So we have to push forward, like to have more participation of the youth. And particularly in Mexico, we don't have a lot of cooperatives created by young people. So we have to promote this kind of entrepreneurship with young people, so we can have more participation.
Angelica, according to your country's situation, youth are not interested to involve in your in cooperative sector. So why are youth not involving in cooperative sector in your view?
Oh, okay. It's not because we are in the communication business, but I strongly believe that we have to communicate more and better. Here in Mexico, it is not very common to have in the news, or I mean on TV or in the newspaper. It is not common to have news about cooperatives, so people that doesn't know us. So part of the work that we are doing at the America's Youth Committee and also here in Mexico is to promote, like to have more diffusion, like more promotion, about cooperatives in a very creative new ways, like to talk to the young people, not being very square, but or very formal, but very like funny and creative, so they can join, because they don't know us. But after our experience, once the young people really get to know what is COPs and the COP movement, they completely fall in love. So it's just a matter of get the information to them, and that's it, because we know that this is a very great movement, and we know all the benefits of the cooperative. So that's after our experience.
Okay, as you say, more people are not involved in because of lack of communication. So why
Yes.
you are not promoting your cooperative like others business?
It's also a matter of the government policies. We have to
Mhm.
work a lot on this matter, and again, a lot of promotion, and to be there to show them, and a lot of also cooperative educational programs and systems, and also work with universities with like with the formal education of the countries to be there, and to show our businesses model.
Okay, thank you, Angelica. I will come to you after other speakers.
Great.
Hello, Ashan. I want to ask to you the same question. How much do the youths in Asia are attracted to conduct their business via cooperatives?
A short time to explain the whole details, but just to give you a general gist of the Asia Pacific youth and what they're doing is, um, let's just say that they are not very attracted to it because of the one the Angelica said that the information of the cooperative is not communicated to them at a level that they could understand. I recently attended a webinar on European cooperative movement, and they were talking about what were the reasons or what were the top few reasons that the youth are not attracted to cooperative or starting a cooperative in any of the region. The two most common reasons that they found out, or the top first two were: one, they didn't know about the cooperative and the information wasn't available. Secondly, they found out that if they knew about cooperative, they did not know how to get the further information on creating or formulating or getting people to know who is going to do what in creating that startup cooperatives. So these are the situations same implicated in Asian Pacific, and I think it's also implicated in American region. In short, I just like to say that education is one part. I'm not talking about the institutional education in talking to the youth, explaining them at their level, and communicating in a way that they would understand at a much more better pace. So these two things are simultaneously, and it's a not just in the Asia Pacific, it's a general. Now in Asia Pacific, there is a barrier of language. When we are talking about at international level, we are always using the English language as a base and then communicating to the rest of the Asia. So most of the Asians have the capacity, do not have the capacity to know about the English language and then state their ideology of the cooperative into a much more at the local language. So there is, you can say that the communication and the language is a barrier to it. So coming back to your question, the Asia Pacific is setting back. These are the reasons that they are not being exposed to the information of the cooperative, and that's why they are not that much focusing on the cooperatives.
Standing capacity.
Could you repeat that? You just recently unmuted the question.
Okay, you want to say lack of education and lack of education or lack of communication or lack of understanding level?
There are education comes afterwards. First comes the establishment or the acknowledgement of the cooperatives. Unless and until there is no awareness of cooperatives, there wouldn't be any education, there wouldn't be any need for educational institutions to establish or set up a course for it. So awareness is the top priority. Then comes communication, and then comes making sure the resources are available. In that part, the education might fall. Your mic is turned off, Sharmila.
Okay, thank you, Asan. I will come to you after Badri sir. And hello, Badri sir. I want to ask same question in terms of Nepal situation. How much do the youth in Nepal are attracted to conduct their business via cooperatives in Nepal situation?
I think he's saying you need to unmute him.
Okay.
I think Sharmila, you need to unmute yourself as well.
शर्मिला बद्री सरको पनि म्युट गर्नु पर्यो अनम्युट गर्नु पर्यो
It's not
बद्री
my
सरको पनि
hand, that's why. It's not my hand.
बद्री सरलाई भनौँ न म्युट म्युट छ
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Probably, I think who is hosting it, he or she may need be unmuted to all the speakers, so that you need not to do it again and again, right? Thank you very much.
Okay. For this, I'm extremely sorry.
No, it's
I have
perfectly fine.
this is not my hand.
Okay, let me go. Thank you very much for organizing this very important topic about integrating youth to the cooperative, which is a big challenge across the globe. For sure, we agree on that. There is the question to me is, what is the challenge that youth are facing to do their business through cooperative? Is it so, right? Okay, then see what I found when we try to engage youth into the cooperative, they are basically lacking the two issues. One is that they are not aware about the education. They were not aware about the cooperative and how it runs and how it operates. Secondly, they are not engaged themselves, whether as a member, a board of directors, or whatever we, right? So there is two issues that come across. Secondly, I even try to start some startup through the youth. Some is a book selling online portal or some other stuff through the cooperatives. But yeah, we have some legal provision of the taking the collateral as a means of security, and the youth generally does not have that kind of the collateral in their legal ownership. So in technical terms, the youth are not really able to do their business through cooperative is because of some of the social issues. One is they really don't know the importance of the cooperative education. They themselves are not really engaging themselves to the cooperatives, because without being a member of the cooperative society, we cannot just to give the financial assistance to them. Secondly, thirdly is because of the social anarchy or social structure. Youth generally does not have the ownership in the fixed asset and something like that, which they cannot put as a pledge or security for the financing facility from banks and cooperatives in Nepal. Even we try to start some of the startup business through the youth and some idea. Really, I was not able to make it happen. That's what my experience in youth sector. You are muted. I mean, probably, yeah.
Yeah, as Osan said, all Asians have lack of understanding level, lack of education level, and lack of communication level, and also Asians have don't have lots of understanding level. That's why cooperative are not grooming in this situation. So, what is your thinking? What is your thought about it? Is that true, or Nepal contents is the different?
Well, I mean, see, the cooperative sector development, if you see the global cooperative development history, it is slightly newer in Nepal part because it has been only 60 years that the cooperative sector is really, I mean, doing their formally engaging to the sector. So if you see the generation transformation, I mean, the matrix, earlier the elder generation did just establish all the cooperative infrastructure, and Gen Y, which is leading the current situation, who has the experience of boom dot-com boom and the subprime crisis in 2008, who are leading. Up to that is okay, but the Gen Z is really not able to come to the Nepalese cooperative sector. Why? Because legally they cannot be a member. If you see the Cooperative Act in Nepal, unless you are 16 years or older than the 16 years, you cannot be incorporated as a member. So all the youths who are grown up are not really able to become a member of the cooperative. They are not really able to engage them. That is the one legal order. Second thing is cooperatives are looking as a means of social transformation, and people are not taking this as an economic transformation means. So young people are just looking the glamorous area like banking and aviation industry and something like that, and engineers and doctors and all. They are not properly educated. So how I envision in Nepalese youth integration to the cooperative sector is because of the one legal issue that prohibits youth to become a member of the cooperative. Because of that, they are not getting proper attention, proper education, and proper other things. That is what I'm seeing a big barrier in it. And all those youth who are become a member are only because their parents are somehow become a member of the cooperatives, and as a means of the financial plan, their parents are taking doing the saving part for their future, but they are really not educated. So in Nepal, one is a legal hurdle, second is really not educated in the society, and third is all the youth leaders of the various political parties and social I mean the sector are mostly concerned about the social issues rather than solving them, and looking as a means to address that, and it could be a cooperative in that sense. So that is what I look as as a one issue why youth are not really being able to engage to the cooperative society in Nepal.
Okay, thank you, Badri sir, for this information. I want to to ask Angelica. Angelica, you know about our national, I mean Nepal scenario. Uh, One is the lack of legal situation, and another is uneducated, and we have a lots of problem in Nepal. So so I want to ask to you, many young are saying we haven't we couldn't get more and more money from cooperative sector. So why we engage in cooperative sector? So what is the scenario of in your country? uh, uh, Youth are saying we untrusted by politician and leaders, political parties leaders or particular, and they are also claiming we couldn't get much more money. So what is that true, or situation is different in your country?
It's more or less the same thing. Here in Mexico, unfortunately, for example, I give you an example. In Argentina, so, one of the South American countries, and also in Germany, in the European continent, you can like find like cooperatives are part of the business, are considered as a business itself. But unfortunately, in most of American countries, including Mexico, when you talk about cooperatives, you talk about um, I don't know if that exists in English, but like assistential from the government. Like if young people think that if you work for a cooperative or if you create a cooperative, it is because you are a poor people. Like you are poor, you have no money, so okay, let's make a cooperative. So they are not interested in having this poor business. So when you talk about big cooperatives that make a lot of money, that they are successful businesses, they are really like impressed. So here in Mexico, the government didn't like give cooperatives the importance that they have. So young people are not interested. They go out of the universities and they want to make money, and they don't think about cooperatives, because cooperatives are like some kind of system that government have for poor people. So we have to change this mindset, and that is what we are doing at our Mexican Cooperative Confederation. First of all, create cooperators and then cooperatives. So we work with the mindset of the young people to like to reinforce the idea of working like as a team, to share all the benefits of the business, so they can like so we can fight the idea that the Mexican government have. Yeah, that is true. It's very sad, but it's true that the cooperatives are like for poor people, or for people that are not like well educated. So that is like a big problem in our country.
Yeah, according to you, you are saying create cooperators, then cooperatives.
Yes.
So thank you so much for this sentence. And I would like to ask Mr. Asan. Hello, Asan. You heard about our Nepal situation. Why young people are not engaging in cooperative sector? So you were claiming we have three problem: lack of education, lack of understanding level, lack of language, and lack of communication. So what is your thought about it?
Okay, so firstly, I just like to clarify, when I was talking about lack of education and communication, I was talking about in a much more Asia Pacific regional level. Some countries have a very good system, like Australia is a part of the Asia Pacific. Other countries like Japan, Philippines, they are doing very good in the field, but they are not just uh, it doesn't the Asia Pacific, it's not just Japan or Australia. It's much more bigger than that. We are approximately 33 or 34 countries that are part of the ICA Asia Pacific. And in terms of Nepal, I think yes, legal system framework is needs to be further looked into, and it needs to be further catered to synchronize with the perspective from the youth. And the main thing that I found in Nepal is that there is a lack of boundaries for clearly defining how would you state that the cooperative youth can be put into a category. For instance, Nepal youth age criteria is 40, right? But how do you define it, and what is the purpose for it? Is the definition for defining the criteria is outdated, or should you guys need to revise the perspective? So there are lots and lots of things that can be done. Right now, I see that when starting a cooperative, there is a lot of barriers. One of those barriers can be uh, stopping the youth to come into part with the cooperative movement. For instance, how do you define, or how many members do you need to start a cooperative in Nepal, and which sector are you talking about? So these kind of information when I was talking about information, it lies in this category, that these kind of information is not um, kind of available to the youth for the Nepalis, and this creates somewhat barriers in communication to them. And if they do understand what is cooperative, they do not know who to approach and how to approach that person to get the further information of starting a cooperative in their own vicinity or the city, or subdivisions of districts in Nepal. So these are the things that exist in my view.
Okay, Ashan, you are the president of the ICA Youth Network, ICAP. So Asia consists of around 60% of the global youth, but their involvement in cooperative in relatively less. Why do you think it?
Okay, so
Why do you think why less people are engaging in cooperative sector?
So I'm just going to rephrase your question. You're basically asking that Asia Pacific is a huge has a huge amount of population, and youth population is also greater as compared to the other regions, and why there is a lack of engagement with the youth and the cooperatives. So in my perspective, yes, we are the largest population from all the other regions in terms of youth, but there is an also one fact that we need to clarify, that is we are also the aging population in the world. Right now, we are I'm not specific about the numbers, but right now there is a lot of potential in the youth that can be transmitted from from regular or traditional business to a cooperative. The lack comes in, as I mentioned before, communication, less availability of resources. When I'm talking about resources, I'm not talking about the financial aspects. I'm talking about information available for their disposal. And thirdly, education. If they do want to be a part of the cooperative, how do they get further education to benefit their own system that they have begun? So it's a very high aptitude to get from point A, which is not a cooperative, to becoming a cooperative in Asian Pacific. These gaps have been there for quite some time. The difference is, how do we approach it? One of the solution is that we need to have a lot of research work or research done in terms of youth and how they can prosper into it. ICA, with the assistance of the European Union, have already done a few research that may have the data to support the Asia Pacific region's youth, or and help to sustain it. Now, here's the kick. This information, can it be circulated amongst the youth leaders in the Asia Pacific? That is a question. Now, I'm not sure a lot of people knew about this research work being done, but this is how we communicate to others. We talk to leaders, we talk to other people, let them know that such information is circulated, be a part of it, let us collect the information, and at the end of the report is done, we can circulate it to you if you are interested, or just ask us and we will provide you the report. Unless this open channel of communication takes place, we are paralyzed just to see that youth are not going to be a part of cooperative in coming future, unless we provide them or give them the access to get this information to them. So this is just one of the situations that I was talking about.
Thank you, Asan, for this speech. And I want to ask to Badri sir. Badri
Yeah,
sir,
please.
you
Yes,
are the
I'm
youth CEO. You are the youth CEO. You are the youth CEO of.
Probably not as per Aswan what he just told me. I'm not a youth as per UN, right?
You are, I think you are the really youth CEO of our nations and of the cooperative sector too. So, what is your plan for the promoting of youth and their involvement in co-op? Because you have a large network in Nepal.
Don't put so big responsibility on my shoulder, right? Well, let me respond this in that way. See, the country has a different perspective about the youth. Yeah, as highlighted by Asan, Nepal youth policy does have that provision of youth as defined up to the age of 40. But I have an experience of working with the organization which only allows the youth as a person with up to 24 years, right? So both the way I have a two experience. One is old guys are treated as a youth, and another is a youth are really treated as youth, but they are not really stimulating what they are doing because they are just moving for their future, and really they are not giving to the society back. However, I have a reservation about the national youth policy putting 40 years as a youth. So that is somehow seems odd. Yep, Nepal is now gradually sensitizing the importance of youth because the cooperative society and cooperative leaders really wants to give the big role to them, prepare the youth to competent for future. Because of that, Central Federation are creating youth committee under their board, right? So in terms of policy level engagement to the youth to the national level, Central Federation level, various youth subcommittees have been formed. So one change that we can see there. As far as National Cooperative Bank Limited is concerned, which is the largest bank having 12,000 cooperative society as its member, we are aiming to engage youth and educate them. So that is what we are planning. Our board of directors approved that plan, and the program goes that way. We are trying to form so many informal clubs and groups at a school level so that these voluntary clubs will be working among the co-op youth, forming them, doing so many extra activities and essay writing and debate and every program at school level about the cooperative. So let them hear about the cooperative and let them aware about themselves about the cooperative. So one part about the creating the youth clubs at a school level is one program of ours which we are rolling out across the Nepal. First year we will do that. Second year we will find out some of the cooperatives who are working at a lake locally, and we will make them as the caretaker of that club so that they can fund some money by which these clubs will carry so many extra activities at a school level. That is what we are talking. In terms of engaging them to the board of directors and so many others area, we are advocating to the boards and other federation make a provision for the invitee board of directors to the youth of under 24 age. So they can come as an invitee board of director in the cooperative society, and they can participate them in their board. They cannot cast board because the board, if you give the authority, maybe it will not go through, right? So we will ask just give them a invitee board of directors without having voting rights, but they will be aware about the functionalities of the cooperative, and later on they will be the champion. And we are trying to create a national federation, create some face, creating some champions who can advocate for the youth and cooperative integration part. So that is how we are rolling out our program. It is a small program of Nepal in my organization, but it will be taking a bigger role because of the National Cooperative Federation would try to expand it, and so many other player might take to expand it. So in that way, we are trying to create at least a 2 to 3,000 cooperative leaders in a year or two, so and they can educate themselves locally. So we are trying to create a localization situation. So let them know locally what is cooperative and let them link it to the globally through our means, because we are integrated, we are connected to the ICA, RQ, WORK, and so many other international associations. so that we can just link to the youth and cooperative and let them explore it, let them talk about the cooperative and importance of it and the social transformation that it brings along with the cultural and economical changes on their lives. That is how we are trying to roll out it in Nepal. Thank you.
It's a great thing. I'm so happy to heard about it, sir. Hope you will implement soon.
Can we put it this way? Not you, but we. It will brings more sense of ownership, right?
Okay. Angelica, I want to ask to you. You heard about Badrishar's plan. What think about you? What think about it? Would you implement? Would you implement in your country too? This idea?
Well, in our country, we are just starting working with youth committees, which is part of the main goals or main subjects we are working with at the regional youth committee of the Americas. So we are just starting, and as I said before, we are like the first step we took is like to educate the young people, so to create this mindset I was talking about, this cooperative mindset. But at the regional level, in the Americas, I want to say that, as Asan mentioned, the lack of the English language, it's also a huge thing. And Asan can confirm this because we are leading, I mean, he is leading, or the Asia Pacific Youth Committee is leading a Go Green campaign that is going to take place in July, like the three first weeks of July. But it's the first time that we are doing it with they are doing it with the Americas Youth Committee and also the Africa Youth Committee. So we were like looking for a speaker from America who can speak English, and we we didn't find it. So we in America, we have the United States, and we have Canada, and we have Jamaica, and we have Haiti, and mainly that doesn't speak Spanish. So we have all the Latin Americans speaking Spanish, and these big and huge and very powerful countries in cooperative movement, that is Canada and United States. So it has been a very hard to have like a common project. That I wanted to point that. But also in America, what we are working with is that the youth committee in the Americas has like a vote and voice at the Americas board, of the ICA. So that is very important, because I don't know if it in Asia Pacific you have this. Maybe Asan will answer this later, but it has been very important that since like a lot of time, the president of the Americas Youth Committee has voice and vote at the big board. So that is huge, because we are part of the big projects, etc. We also developed a youth policy a few years ago, that it has been signed by all the board members of the Americas. So this youth policy is very important, because if you are, for example, from I don't know, let's say Dominican Republic or from Brazil, and you work for a cooperative and you want to have more power of the youth in your cooperative, you can take this youth policy, and say, hey, to your leaders, you can say, you sign this because you're part of the ICA Americas board. You sign this, and here it says that you have to support young people, etc., etc. So it has been very useful for us to have this youth policy. We have, of course, permanent support from the regional office. And as I say, we work not only with youth, but we have more experienced people working with us at the same time. So the fact that we have a place in the board, that we have a youth policy signed and accepted by all the board members, and that we have like projects with more experienced people as consultants or mentors, are like three very important things that we are working at the Americas Youth Committee to really have more presence of the youth.
Why you didn't think about to take youth in cooperative as a board member?
In cooperatives as a board members?
Why do you why you don't think about this part?
I think, but like at the base cooperative, we didn't succeed yet, but at the regional level, we already have this kind of situation. In Mexico, it's not very common to have young people at the board. We have a few successful cases at the north of Mexico, and let's say me, I'm a successful story, but I don't know. As I said, cooperatives in Mexico are very old, so they are led by very also grown-up people. So we are just starting to have committees and to be organized, so we can have more voice in our cooperatives.
So Angelica, we have a board member of ICA. So what program do you expect from the ICA to attract more American youth in in cooperative sector?
Okay, actually, after that is very interesting. After the situation we are living with the COVID-19, we just like a few months ago, or maybe a month ago, we create a program with the board members and also the youth committee to help young people to create new cooperatives after the pandemic. So we're gonna to help them, and this is a very special program, post-pandemic program we are developing with the board members. They just signed this project, and it is about two main points: help young cooperators to create new cooperatives or new projects, and also if you already have a cooperative or you are a part of a cooperative organization and you are young, but you have a new project to help your community or your country after this pandemic situation, you can have all the support from the Americas board and the Americas youth committee. So it is a new project we are starting, and I hope we can be successful for just specifically for the post-pandemic situation we are unfortunately dealing in all over the world.
What is the expectation from the ICA?
Can you explain more this question?
What is the expectation from the ICA?
What do you mean with expectation?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like from the ICA board or?
Yeah,
from
ICA
the ICA
board,
America?
global ICA board. No, ICA board.
What we expect as young people?
Yeah, as young people.
Okay, it is a great thing that our president Ariel Warco is from the Americas, so we can easily speak with him in Spanish, fortunately. And you know, the last president of the Global Youth Network is she is from Argentina too. So what I'm trying to say that Ariel Warco is from Argentina, so they are very supportive with young people. From the ICA, we expect to have even more support for the Global Youth Network. I mean, we are part of the board. We are there, and we are pushing forward to have new activities or new projects. But I mean, I believe we recently at the Global Youth Network changed some subjects and some issues about our organization, and I believe they were accepted at the board. I'm not sure about it, but I'm quite sure that they will accept that, so we can be a committee, a more active committee worldwide. So more than say that we expect something from the ICA, we expect to keep working this way because we're being very supported. We can hear you.
Thank you, Angelica. I'm extremely sorry for this. Sometimes on mute and sometimes mute.
It happens in all the webinars,
Yeah.
don't worry.
And another thing, I want to, I will try to take participate voice also. So before that, I want to ask Mr. Ashan in the same question. We have the ICA, we have ICA board director Miss Om Devi Malla. You know that you know very well, and I want to ask to you, what is your expectation from ICA?
Well, thank you.
As a ICA AP Youth Network, as a president of ICA AP Youth Network.
Okay. Just to clarify, we are a committee and not a youth network. The commonality is similar, but we work in a different perspective. First of all, Ms. Om Devi, thank you for joining. I see you're online, and we appreciate that you are a part of this webinar. And secondly, my expectation from the ICA as a global board representatives and others as a member, I would suggest two things. One, I've been a part of the ICA youth for about 10 years since I was from 21 years of age. So I've been with the youth networks, youth cooperative movement for a very long time. When it was constructed, it began, where was the first election, and so on and so forth. So we have always been fighting for two things. One of them is giving a voice to the youth, and second is giving capacity to make their own decisions. When we're talking about voicing the youth, we got that chance. We are speaking right now, we are speaking loud and clear, but we also want to have our own definitive definition on how we are going to take things further, and for that we need vote. By vote, we need voting right. We need voting rights from the youth perspective to be a part of a major change in the decision for the Asia Pacific. Specifically, I'm trying to say that unless we take our own decisions, doesn't matter if the rest of the board members do not agree, but it would be like we participated for our own decisions and we took the decisions accordingly. I'm not sure that everyone understands it, but cooperative is all about a democratic process. each of us have a right to vote for our own decision, whichever it is, either it's for good for the whole cooperative or not, or it's either good for just for a specific sectors. But they have the decision to take for their own institutions in a democratic manner. We as a youth that have been left behind wishes to be a part of it. So that's my expectation. The ICA should, could, and do more to propagate the decision making to the youth in any and every aspects.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Asan. Badri sir, I want to ask to you.
Yes, please.
Same question, and as well as what is your expectation from NCF2?
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yes, see, ICA being an international association, it has a big role to play in the global arena. In that arena, the concern about the youth and integrating them to the cooperative is a big challenge across the globe. So somehow they need to come up with a concrete program on youth. It's not merely a program as highlighted by Asan. The voice should be heard and it should be counted for, right? How we are talking in Nepal, slightly not asking for the vote because we are not recognized yet. So that is why, as a part of first stage, we are asking just enroll youth as an alternate director or invited director, even without the voting right. That would be fine for the first stage. When it will be roll out and accepted as a one of the custom or practices across all the cooperatives, then youth themselves will raise a voice for the vote. As in highlighted by Hassan, it will be democratic process. So what I request to the NCF, and since ma'am is being the global board director and the senior vice president of the NCF, the apex body of the cooperative in Nepal, let us advocate strongly. Let us accept the youth as a one of the force, and future belongs to them, not to us forever, right? So let's accept them and give them a big role, make them competent for the future role, not blocking them to the, I mean, the board of director and all. So my request is help. Let us help the youth in two E. One E is education and second E is engagement. So that is my request to NCF, and I hope they will just take it seriously.
Thank you, Badri sir. We have 33 participants, and I want to take from question of participant. I know. Hello, Binod sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Binod sir. Yes,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
heard about you. I heard about you. I just know what you want to ask the question. So you can ask for all participate and Om Devi ma'am too.
Okay. Shall I start?
Okay.
Okay. Namaste everyone. I am Binod Duwadi. I am from Mandali, Dading Mandali, Sakos, Kolanki. Actually, whether my question, relates with the issue or not, but one question triggers in my mind as I'm, cooperative worker. So my question is to Angelica and all the guests. So in Nepal, it's very challenging to win the heart of public towards the cooperative, right? And they are searching for best cooperatives which provides best services. Likewise, youth also have the same intention that which would give me a secure future, and so on and so on and so forth. So they search for their future, and they future in the sense of their career and so on. So I'd be happy if the if my question will be answered, like how to win the public's heart towards the cooperative, as they have the negative and I think you got the point. So they have a negative mentality or and so on. So it's quite challenging. So my question is that.
So you can give answer to all of you. His question is how to win the people's heart as a
Yeah.
cooperator.
Should I answer that? I have
Yeah.
a few
Okay.
experience. I could.
Definitely.
Okay, so before that, could I ask you to turn off your mic so that there isn't any disturbance in there's a background voice I could clearly hear. Could you turn off your mic, please?
विनोद सर
Okay.
तपाईको माइक टर्न
Okay.
अफ गरिदिनु न.
Okay, so in my experience, youth have always been attracted to money. In cooperative, there is a one defect. I would like to say that it's not a big defect, but it does not provide a huge amount of money while working 100%. But it has a very best feature that no traditional business provides you at all. It ensures that you are employed for a longer period of time than any other business in any other sector, any of the sectors or any traditional businesses. So just to be clear, there is going to be less unemployed people on streets if they are part of a cooperative. In Pakistan, COVID-19 hit. A lot of layoffs were taken off in just a few weeks, not months. I'm talking about in few weeks. Specifically 2 weeks after that, the people start firing people just to cover up their losses that was expected in the COVID-19. So whatever the government measures were there. But the thing is, in cooperatives, there were very, very few people reported globally that they were fired from or they lost jobs. No doubt there was a decrease in profit due to the COVID-19, but things happen. This is not about the COVID-19 only. In other situations, when there are people coming, immigrants fleeing from war, or if some institutions were created in a time of war, cooperative have made a major part in it. So my first suggestion, one, to win their hearts, you need to communicate to them that you have a secure employment if you work for a cooperative, not just today but forever. Secondly, when you're working in a cooperative, you're automatically getting some sort of education in return to be a part of becoming cooperative. So your education level is not going to be the same. It's going to increase with the time and time again without investing much more in additional schooling or additional certifications or degrees. You can do it something with your cooperative. Thirdly, when it comes for working together, cooperative is a best model. It's not just going to employ one person, it's going to employ that whole of the scenario or the people or the population that they are working for. A best example that I could come up with, I had a discussion with one of our governmental employees, I would say at a higher, at a secretariat level. He mentioned about there was a place in Pakistan that was located remotely, and the students or the children did not have the means to get from one place or walk to 12 or 13 kilometers, where it's a hilly area surrounded by wild animals and they were usually in danger, and it took about 2 hours of walk for them to go from their homes to the school. So the guy gave them the information, why don't all of the communities come together, and whoever's children are going there, if they have the amount to purchase one vehicle for all of them, they can do it. They purchased a vehicle, they started moving the students from one point to another to school and back with the assigned duties of all the parents to have one daily duty per day, and that's how they started the cooperatives. So unless a goal or specific goal has been attained, people heart wouldn't be included in it. Lastly, cooperative is a business model. It puts people first, and then comes the profit and loss. So when you're putting people first, that means that cooperatives care about its people, its environment, and its overall structure. So if you need to win hearts, you start with a cooperative, bring in people, invest their money, and make sure they are responsible for their own decisions in taking that cooperative further. That is one of the things that I could come up with. And thank you for listening.
Thank you, Asan. Thank you for your great vision. And I want to ask Miss Omdevi Malla ma'am, who is our chief guest. Hello, Omdevi ma'am.
Hello. Hello, thank
Hello.
you for having
Hello.
me here. Hello, Sarmila.
Ma'am, I am extremely sorry for the waiting to you, and I want to ask to you. I want to ask to you, and I want to request to you too. Please put your remarks and what are being done to increase youth involvement in cooperative in Nepal, and how has ICA considered Nepal's effort in this regard?
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Are you hearing me? Okay. I just request with you, please remarks what are being done to encourage youth involvement in cooperatives in Nepal, and how has ICA considered Nepal's effort in this regards?
Okay, Sarmilaji, thank you very much. Okay, let I start now. Dear Asan, President of Youth Committee, Asia Pacific Region. Dear Angelica, President of Youth Committee, America Region. Dear Badri Guragai, CEO of National Cooperative Bank Limited and Chartered Accountant also. And dear Chairman of Cooperative Journalist Society of Nepal, CJN, and dear Sharmila, moderator of this program, and all participants from cooperative sector and journalist sector also. And first of all, I render my cooperative greetings to all. I listen very carefully all countries' presentation. And also I learn many things. Also I get more information about different country, and most of the problem are same. So I believe that Global Youth Network is working in this problem with making a strategic plan for future. In my opinion, this is a common platform for us to know each other and lovely opportunity to learn new dynamic of the youth from different country. I congratulate to all and give thanks to all paper presenter and organizer from International Cooperative Alliance and National Cooperative Federation of Nepal and myself. Let me know to add couple of activities started and continued by ICA and NCF in this regards. First, the ICA established the Youth Network in 2003 to advise, support, and give representation to the youth in the cooperative movement. Because youth are future of any country's young people will be leaders for tomorrow. Another one, the youth committee raising their voice for justice, decent work, and protection of environment and ending of impunity. And another, in present context of cooperative movement or different way of doing things needed. The ICA Youth Network president and resolution on October 2019 in Rwanda, Kigali. And one is reinforce the importance of the regional committees and their participation with board and region ICA board. And second one, introduction of the youth action plan. And third, the allocation of resources to support youth representative to attend ICA event. And for last one, introduction different tools to make the global youth network accessible. So this resolution approved by 2019 General Assembly in Kigali. Also, this is I think our Asan, Sharmila, also Angelica. Before they are all in that conference, maybe. And another thing. Also, the youth in cooperative developing strategy to promote one youth employment, decent and quality employment, and creation of job in cooperative. This is all is our ICA activities, and this network aims to represent it and connect and voice the youth. So also, likewise, before few months ago, ICA hosted first time international cooperative conference in Malaysia on 2020 February 3 to 6. In that conference, 90 countries were participate from the world. So that in these all activities, ICA give an important platform to the youth generation. Maybe this conference also attend from our Nepal, Sarmila also. And another one, I'm going to brief some activities about National Cooperative Federation of Nepal, NCF. NCF has been encouraging the participation of youth cooperative, mainly these objectives. One is to increase the participation of youth in cooperative. Another one to educate the youth about the importance of cooperative for their socio-economic development. And another one also to develop the future leadership to youth in cooperative. And now NCF starting and doing these activities. National Cooperative Federation of Nepal formed youth committee since 2013 to promote the youth in cooperative throughout the country. Another National Cooperative Federation of Nepal has been sensitizing the school and college student about the concept and importance of cooperative. And another one, National Cooperative Federation of Nepal, is collaborating with the Ministry of Land Management, Cooperative and Poverty Alleviation, Ministry of Education, Government of Nepal, University Curriculum Development Center for developing the curriculum and cooperative education system in school, college, and universities in Nepal. National Cooperative Federation of Nepal has continuously been lobbying and coordinating with the government for the formation of cooperative service group in the bureaucracy service and in Nepali Nizamati Sewayen of the government of Nepal. NCF has also been coordination with the government of cooperative to recruit youth in cooperative service who have formal cooperative education. And we have also some challenge for enhancing the youth participation in cooperative, continuously lobby and coordination with the government for developing the youth friendly policy plan and programs in cooperative, etc. At the cooperative service group in Nizamati Sewa in youth employed programs also, and extracurriculum activities for attracting the youth in cooperative, etc. Encourage federal union and cooperative for making youth friendly policy plan and programs internally for the maximization of youth in cooperative, and collaborated and accelerated the lobby with the government of Nepal Ministry of Land Management, Cooperative and Poverty Alleviation, and Ministry of Education, Tribhuvan University and other university, and Curriculum Development Center to develop to cooperative curriculum and cooperative education system through school, college, and university in all. At last but not least, I would like to give thanks to all organizers for giving me this special role and opportunity. Last one, I would like to say questions from our Angelica, Asan, and Badri sir also. And I always had discussion in our global board meeting to give some fund for these activities and training for youth committee and women committee. I always discuss, this is true. And thank you, Asan and Angelica and Badri Guragai, for your questions. I will share your opinion in our board meeting and request to all members and president to consider your voice. Thank you, Sharmila Baini, for your this opportunity, this very valuable opportunity. Finally, I confident to see you all at a role of efficient cooperative leader in future. Your energetic contribution will change the paradigm of our cooperative movement. Thank you to all. Thank you giving me this important platform for organizer. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this valuable speech. Thank you so much, Om Devi ma'am. I'm so glad of you, and I'm so proud of you because you are the woman leader.
Yes.
Lastly, time is a little bit more, but just lastly, I want to request to Ashan and Angelica too, and I will come to Badri sir too. Lastly, I want to ask Ashan and Angelica, you are doing Go Green campaign, no?
Yes. Maybe
Yes.
Asan will,
Yeah.
will share this.
Asan is the main. Asan's
Yeah.
main. Asan's is the main role in this project, I think. So
Yes.
first of all, you can say what is the scenario of your countries with Go Green campaign, Angelica? This is not for list, but I want to ask to you.
Yes, yes, that's okay. First of all, it's the first time we are working with any other youth committee, so we are very excited, and I want to say thank you to Assam for invite us. As we in America, we are still like having this big peak of the COVID-19. Unfortunately, we are mainly having, and for the first time, uh, virtual activities as webinars or maybe planting trees, but or little plants inside your house or your garden, because we cannot go out like massively go out. And so we are having webinars, we are having a lot of activities in social media. So it's mainly that, because unfortunately we cannot go out and plant trees because of the COVID-19. And we are very excited, and people in America are very, very excited. We already have signed some agreements with some institutions, and yes, we are happy with this.
Let me just conclude the whole Go Green campaign into a very brief
Thank you.
discussion.
Actually, thank you,
Okay.
Angelica.
You're
Please
welcome.
go ahead, Asan. What is the situation of Go
Well,
Green campaign? It's
well,
you are the boss of Go Green campaign, na? So
thank you for the kind words. The situation is very clearly simple. We are just advocating about how the environment is affecting our businesses, our cooperatives, our communities in all aspects. If we do not change our pattern or plant trees or work on the environment in any manner, we are going to lose a lot of businesses as we speak. For instance, recently in Pakistan, there has been a natural attack of locust, a small insects eating all the crops and destroying all the agricultural land. This is caused by the environmental factor change and the environment and the climate change. So these things are rapidly increasing and decreasing the amount of businesses that they're generating. So the Go Green campaign is connecting the youth, the cooperative, and SDG 13, the climate action, in a platform to propagate, promote, and to bring youth on the cooperative board to learn about cooperatives, and the cooperative to learn about the youth and what is the gap in the communication. So this is all about the Go Green campaign. So if you need to know more about it, I've already shared the Facebook page, so you can connect to us and find out more, and you can connect to me through the social media, and we can have a discussion about how you can participate in it. So generally, America, this year, America, Asia Pacific, and Africa are all working together to propagate the cooperative identity, the youth, and the SDG 13. Thank you everyone for listening. Sorry, it took a lot of time.
thank you, Asan. Hello, Badri sir.
Yes.
Lastly, but not least, Asan is going to campaign which is about Go Green, and it's all about SDG 13 too. So, what is your plan? What is your plan, and are you interested to connect this Go Green campaign?
Oh, well, really, I'm not much aware of this Go Green campaign, but as a global warming and global environmental causes are taking a new shape, new height, and as highlighted by Asan, the new insect are traveling to India, and probably they will come up into Nepal too because of the global environmental issues. I'm not much aware of it. I would love to know it, and I personally always encourage anything that comes up to the environment protection, and we cannot be selfish, so that only we will protect this planet until we live here. So let's hope we will love to connect and
Badri sir, I let me clear now. It was just my personal question, and it was just my personal question. That's why. Okay, we have we we did lots of discussion about youth and cooperative. Finally, Om Devi ma'am.
Yes,
Hello.
Sharmila.
If you want to share something with us, please you can share now. Finally, you can wrap up too.
Yeah, I already told that really I also get more information about America, about Asia Pacific, also America region, also Badri sir from learn more things. And at last, I want to give thank you very much. Your CGN, organized by CGN, to arranging this important virtual meeting. And I hope our cooperative leaders and our cooperative who is working in cooperative sector, they also learn more things about different countries, about a youth network, maybe. So thank you, Sharmila. Thank you for giving me this special platform. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Lastly, I am extremely sorry. I couldn't take participants' questions because too much time. We take too much time. That's why I'm extremely sorry from my heart. and I want to wrap up this Zoom meeting. Thank you so much, our chief guest, Miss Om Devi Malla. And thank you so much, our speakers, Mr. Badri Guragai sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Rasan Ali Thakur. And thank you so much, Angelica ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank
much
you.
happy to meet
Stay
you.
safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to say also thank you to Devi, Sharmila for this organization and the Cooperative Journalists Association of Nepal, and that you are welcome to Mexico anytime you want.
Yes. Love you
Thank you
so much.
everyone. It's a pleasure to be on board, Mr. Badri, Mrs. Om Devi, Angelica. It's nice to see you, Ms. Sharmila. It's a pleasure to have you all on this panel and all the participants that were listening. Really appreciate your being a part of it. And if you have any further questions, I'm always available on the Facebook page. Just send me a text or search me by my name, SNU Thakur, and I will be available. Mr. Badri, it's a pleasure to hear your opinions about Nepali youth and how they are going to progress. And Ms. Om Devi, thank you for the updates. It's really appreciated. And I hope we could all work in the future for the youth cooperative movement to proceed further. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't know about Ashan, about Badri. Ashan, I want to say about Badri sir. He's a fabulous, so gentleman.
Oh my goodness, please, thank you.
No, I could also.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.